I've got this template here on Replit. So all you have to do is click remix this app. You can also leave it as Marketo MCP. Set it as private here, so only you can see and edit this app, and then go remix app. It's remixing at the moment. One of the things you'll need to do is you will need to enter your Marketo API credentials in order for the MCP server to work. So I'm going to pause the screen here while I do that. So I've got my Marketo client credentials set up here. So then now all I'm going to do is press the publish button. The name Marketo MCP is fine for my Replit URL. And then all we need to do here is just hit publish. And I'm just going to pause the video again while this is building. So now my app has been built and deployed. We just need to copy this URL here. And now to test that it works, I'm in OpenAI again. And I've got a very simple prompt here saying your job is to be a helpful Marketo personal assistant. Let's add this MCP server. And we need to add the /MCP so that we go to the correct destination on our MCP server. Let's call this Marketo MCP. We don't have any access token set up at the moment, but later on in this video I'm going to show you how we can set up authentication for our MCP URL so that only we can use the Marketo MCP. So let's hit connect here. We've got all our Marketo activities ready to go. Let's go add. And then let's test it out. Please tell me what you can find out about. So you see what I mean by plug and play. You didn't have to make any changes to the code. So hold on. First it's asking to get lead by email. So it's going to try and find out all the Marketo information about this person from their email address. And what I really like about OpenAI as well is that it shows you all the thought process. It shows you the thought process that the AI agent goes through as it's making all its decisions. And it says, I could look into different types of activities, possibly focusing on recent lead activities by email and any changes to the leads themselves. It might be helpful to gather some relevant IDs for these activities. I also have the option to use something like get activity types to streamline this process. Let's see how this unfolds. So that's one reason I really like building in OpenAI's playground, is because you get to see all of the tool calls being made and how it's making all of the tool calls. And you get to see the results of all the tool calls. So this is what came back from Marketo when we made the request to look up this email address. So let's approve this. It's going to try and get all the activity types we have in Marketo. Okay, so let's see what activity types we got back. Yeah, so we can see all the activity types along with their IDs got returned here. It's just a very, very long payload to look at. And now it's looking at the describe leads endpoint to see what it can find out, to see what fields we have in the lead basically. That's what the describe leads endpoint does. So I'll let that keep going. Okay, so now it's going to get these lead activities by email. So it's going to try and get all of the activity history for these activities for this email address. So let's approve. So while it's doing that, I just want, okay, that's going 365 days back. Wow, that's going to take a while. But I'm just going to stop this here because you get the idea. At the end of this, it would give me a summary based on all this person's activity and maybe based on some fields that it found when doing the lookup by email address. It would summarize all that for me and return it. But for the sake of brevity, I'm going to move on with the rest of the demo. But this is what I mean by a plug and play template. Literally all you had to do was just enter your Marketo secrets, and then you just had to hit publish, and that was it. There was no changes needed to the code and no other setup needed. It's as easy as that.